Welcome to Empowered Living. We are so glad that you can join us today. We have a very special show for you, including a special guest. So stay tuned for Empowered Living.
Welcome to Empowered Living, Kingdom Impact, a production of Bahamas Faith Ministries. Enjoy inspirational teaching, exciting music, drama, featured stories, and interviews. We are transforming followers into leaders and leaders into agents of change. Join us now for today's program.
This year's Youth Alive 2019, the Trilogy, all happening at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center from July 3rd to July 5th. It's going to be amazing. Guest artists, Stats, E-Man, Neslin Deslahome, Carrington McKenzie, Chosen Soldiers, Fuel Band, Leonardo Evans, and so much more. We also will have Bertram O'Bubala, and it's going to happen all at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. Friday, the 5th, is going to be an awesome concert. You want to be there. Call 461-6430 or 461-6478 for more information. This year at Youth Alive, the Trilogy.
Say to yourself, today is the day that I'm standing on the shores of a surety.
The church now, however, is supposed to bring the culture of heaven on the earth through the cultural pattern that Jesus established.
In order to experience and appreciate the kingdom perspective, it doesn't happen through autopilot. It happens through faith.
And so if we're serving in ministry and we're serving as leaders, we have to understand the responsibility that comes.
So the real battle of a man is not for his body, it is for his soul. Because his soul is what's influencing his body.
The summit has been amazing.
Wow, it was just such an honor to be here today.
If you don't have substance, it's easy for you to lose perspective. Welcome back to Empowered Living. As promised, we have a very special guest on our show today, and I'm going to introduce you to him right now, and we'll get started with our conversation. So our guest is none other than Mr. Darren Brown. Darren, it's good to have you on the show today.
Pleasure to be here. Pleasure. Great to be here.
Wonderful. I know that you are getting ready to move on to the United States, but let's take a look back at how you got to this point, and the impact of Bahamas Faith Ministries on you. So let's go back before you were saved. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing and then what led you to Christ and how that changed your life.
Yeah, I was born to a single mother. She grew up 12 kids.
Wow.
She was an excellent mother.
Single mother with 12 kids.
Yeah, single mother. She did her best to steer us in the direction of God. She was respect people, and I kind of been there right off from it. I did the 390 turn, and I got myself into some action that was not really what I was thought. I just went contrary, and I got involved in one of the first gang in the Bahamas. It was called the Syndicate.
I remember the Syndicate.
Yeah. I was a young kid in the Syndicate, and I was basically not the leader, but one of the foot soldiers, and it was a group that, basically we found connection. We could party, we party every night, every weekend. I would really get lit. Some young people say got really drunk, and we got in some fights and everything, and we did some really bad stuff. And when I look now to the young kids right now, the gang that we were in back then, it was basically, your ball, your rock, your knife, and all that stuff, and not so much gun, but we
right.
It was a different concept, and we were seeing. So I feel somehow we're kind of responsible because we were one of the first ones that began the gangs.
Yeah, I remember the Syndicate. I remember the Syndicate was like the first official gang in the Bahamas. So now you move from being involved in some of the gang activity, being a part of the early movement with the syndicate, and tell us what caused your life to change, and how did you make that change?
You know, so my mother, a prayer warrior. She never gave up on me, because there were nights that I would come home from a party and I got really bust right up, and the guys will actually knock to the door and just lean me up to the door. I just fell right flat on my head. You know, she said, "You got to stop." There are many. I found myself in Pinewood Garden pulling up peas, 3 for blanket. I was a wreck. Young kid, but just for those years I just drank like, it was like crazy, But my mother kept praying for me. And I remember there was a lady, it was a crusade in the Bahamas, and I went one night with her, and the lady told me to give my life to Christ. I said, not now, I got some more things to do. And she just beat on me for like about half an hour. What if God come? And she talked so much, I said, you know what, let me do it, just to get rid of her.
Yeah.
And so that Sunday I was supposed to go get baptized. I had a party though. I had a party that Sunday night. That was a problem. So I had to figure a way how I could talk this woman. And this woman came to me. It was 11 o'clock, and she didn't leave until about 7. So I dialed from around the corner. "Hey, you here, Miss Vickett?" Miss Vickett, she was from Jamaica. I said, "Miss Vickett, you still here? Why you do that to me?" I said, "Right now I ain't ready yet. I got some stuff to do.
Yeah.
And she begins to talk, and my mother starts saying, "Man, you got to change." And I finally, I went with her to the crusade that night, and something happened. It was the beginning of a movement. Didn't happen right away.
Right.
It took a little while.
So it was a process.
Yeah. But I can tell you, when I got saved, a lot of the boys on the block said, "Man, they called me Pigeon." I was called Pigeon. They actually, when you go to the old school, you ask guys for Darren. Some don't know me, some do. But they Pigeon. When I hear Pigeon, I think about when I was young, And so basically, they said, "Man, if we're gonna bet, he'll be back in 2 weeks." Because
Nobody expected you to last.
Nobody. Everyone said, and they say it went 2 months. And it was amazing, Pastor Dave. When I went to Sanibel, it was a Seventh Adventist church, and I got baptized. And no angels came from heaven, nothing. I felt nothing really. But I made a commitment to stop drinking, which was like hard, but I did. And I never really looked back. And that was kind of me. Everybody was like, "Man, Pigeon, stop drinking." I told you, I got drunk. I went to a boat cruise one time, and there was a guy called Fish and Squaw, and I was just bus right over. It was a ZNS boat cruise. And they told me about it, and I slapped a gentleman who was really notorious in those days, and I didn't know I'd do it. I slapped, and there was a guy called Skever, and I slapped him.
I remember Skever, yeah.
I slapped him, and Big Fish stepped in the front and said, "No, you ain't touching Pigeon." Because I drunk as hell,
Yeah.
So he said, "No, you ain't touching Pigeon, And there was many things I did when I was drunk. When I became sober, I said, "Boy, you go on there and you."
Yeah, I remember Skever and Squaw and all the rest of those guys, yeah. So now tell us, so you moved from, being involved in these activities, drinking a lot, partying a lot, you get saved. How do you get to BFM?
When I was young, I heard about Pastor Miles, the program, I think it was Choices. And I followed that, and then one day I said, "Let me just go and check this out." I went up to the Mackey Street, but you were just coming down here. That was like in 94, I'd say 94, 93. I came down here, and when I came in, I fell in love right away because of you, number one. It was a program that young people could relate to.
Right.
It was exciting, it wasn't dull. I went to a church which was it was okay. But for me, I couldn't relate. And I came from a background, reggae music was my thing, And so when I came here and I could hear like the reggae and all that stuff and the rap, it was home. And the word was here. The word was being taught here. So I felt a connection and the leadership that Bahamas Faith Ministry teach. I never heard it before, that I was born to lead. I was a follower, Even the gang, I was a follower. Like I said, I was a foot soldier, not a leader. I just did certain, silly stuff.
All right, we're going to come back to Darren in a moment, but we want to thank you for watching Empowered Living. We'll be back in a moment.
The
Change Agents Ministry is a dynamic group of individuals seeking to address the spiritual, personal, professional, social, and leadership development of BFMI millennials. The intent is that these millennials will demonstrate their kingdom leadership in every sphere of national and international life. The Change Agent Ministry aims to meet at least once per month to interact, encourage, inspire, have a little fun, but all while tackling the issues facing millennials. The Change Agent at BFMI seeks to be that change in our community, church, country, and the world. We continue to fulfill the mandate of BFMI, which is transforming followers into leaders and leaders into agents of change. So if you're between the ages of 21 and 35, or if you're just a millennial at heart, feel free to join up with us.
This year's Youth Alive 2019, the trilogy, all happening at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center from July 3rd to July 5th. It's going to be amazing. Guest artists, Stats, E-Man, Neslin Deslahome, Carrington McKinsey, Chosen Soldiers, Fuel Band, Leonardo Evans, and so much more. We also will have Bertram O'Bubala, and it's going to happen all at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. Friday the 5th is going to be an awesome concert. You want to be there. Call 461-6430 or 461-6478 for more information. This year at Youth Alive, the trilogy.
Say to yourself, today is the day that I'm standing on the shores of a surety.
Welcome back to Empowered Living. We've been talking with Darren Brown, and we've been talking about his journey from a young man, a troubled young man involved in some gang activity, and then coming to Christ. And we're continuing our conversation about that journey. So now you arrive at BFM, you got attracted to the youth program, the Youth Alive, the Peace on the Streets, the hip hop, Christian gospel, rap, the reggae. So tell us how your life changed. So you first of all, how did you get introduced to BFM, and then what happens after that?
Well, my introduction to BFM was from television first. Television, watching Pastor Miles and Pastor Richard.
Wow.
As a young kid, and that. So I knew that's the place I wanted to be. And I came that Sunday, and it was like a shock to see young people in leadership, and they were doing stuff that was the word. Mm-hmm. But they did it basically in our style, in our format. We love, like I said, we love hip hop, reggae, and everything. And at Bahamas Faith Ministry, Pastor Dave, you were one of the great the pioneer that you allow young folks to not to fit into the amazing grace, the old, but you allow tradition. You allow us to bring our flavor and leadership. And now, shortly after, you allow me to lead in the youth group. I worked in the youth group. I
remember you were one of the youth leaders.
Many years in the youth group,
Yes.
I served as the usher, and I did youth group every Friday night. Friday would be my day. I would fast that Friday day, and every Friday I would be going. I'll come to never miss youth group, and because it was life. It was giving life. Mm-hmm. To come here. This is not dissing other churches, but it was really alive. It was the word being put into action. It was not just a form of worship. It was really. You were seeing the Father's face, because our leaders were living right. We as young people, and we might say nothing, but we watch how our leaders live.
Right.
And they encourage us. So we were encouraged to treat ladies with respect. We drop ladies home. I would never, any improper thing, because we saw leadership into action. So for me as a young person, it was really, it really changed my life. It really was. And I would never trade it for nothing. I've been here 20-some years, and it's been a wonderful experience. And I'll take memories with me that will never go. Because I sit here because I'm sitting here talking to you because of the word that you put into me. Because maybe I would have, another church I might have left. But it was so vibrant every day. you could lead. You're a leader, Pastor Miles. You are not just a follower, transforming followers into leaders. So it's a great experience. And I intrigue any young person out there. It's the church of the word. And we're not bigging up BFM, but it's the word being practiced. Our leaders at BFM, from my being here 25 or 20 years, more, maybe a little more, I've never seen, stability, strong leadership that we could follow. And that's, remarkable.
So you came in, you got involved, you became one of the leaders. Let's talk a little bit about how you were able to impact other young people. So through your example, and then let's talk a little bit about your journey, because you started out as just a young man. Today you're a husband, you're a father, you're a businessman. So let's talk a little bit about that journey.
Man, for the impact on young men, I remember a landlord, when landlord came to BFM, and I took him basically under my wing, like my little brother, and so after all, it was because I saw you guys lead, and I knew where I came from, and I could relate to it. So I began to try to show the love of God, and to see, when I see landlord, his journey, it's remarkable, He's doing greater work than I ever did,
Yeah, he's doing amazing.
He's doing an awesome work. I see him every day. So I was able to, like I said, you always tell us that we are leaders, and we represent the word, and that kept us alive. And you taught us how to look out for each other, not just with and you did this without not just with words, but in deeds, and we were miniature Christ. You taught us that we were. What Christ did, we were to replicate.
Representing him in the earth.
And that was awesome, And so leadership with youth ministry, it's a part of my life, Pastor Dave. I love when I used to come every Friday, and then Peace on the Street, man. Oh, it was radical, to see the person God saved, and we would go there and we would give out leaflets, and I give my testimony in those days. And then we had the youth march. It will leave, lift up your hair, run behind the truck. Now we had one, I had to sit in the truck, But the youth march was Sunday was awesome, and so we were really the pace setters. And you help us to be pace setters, and there's so many young men we can staff on, and all those, Dina, these guys. Because of you, Pastor Dave, I owe a lot to you. It's amazing how I started with you as my youth pastor, and now you are my senior pastor, and you've never changed. Your style and flavor, you adjusted for the seniors, the senior people, but you've done something remarkable, that your transformation, it's different, but it's fresh. And you still got the flavor, you still attract the young people, because of your life and everything.
Praise the Lord. Well, one thing I wanted to talk about, and we have about a minute, and we have to wrap up to go into the next segment. But tell us about your journey as a husband, father, and businessman. And we'll just give us a minute, and then we'll come back and add to it.
Okay. First, my wife, I met my wife actually through the ministry. We had one of those boat crews.
Wow.
Yeah, on the boat cruise. She's sitting
the famous boat cruise,
sitting at this bar, in all black. I was sharp back then. I was really sharp. And I just kind of, went over there and talked and everything, Christian, rapping on the boat, checking out, scenery. But she was a born-again believer. And, we met, and I went to work and everything. But she was really, she committed to God. And that's remarkable. And we started to date. And she used to go to Bethel Baptist. But then she came over, and began to, she fell in love with the ministry. She always loved Pastor Miles and everything. But because of the word, because of the word that you've taught me, it teach me how to treat her with great respect, to, respect her body as a temple of God. And, so, I guess, that's...
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna continue. We're gonna get the rest of the story in a moment. But thanks once again for watching Empowered Living, and we are on today with our special guest, Mr. Darren Brown. We'll be back in a moment.
This year's Youth Alive 2019, the Trilogy, all happening at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center from July 3rd to July 5th. It's going to be amazing. Guest artists, Stax, E-Man, Neslin Deslahome, Carrington McKenzie, Chosen Soldiers, Fuel Band, Leonardo Evans, and so much more. We also will have Bertram O'Bubala, and it's going to happen all at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. Friday, the 5th, is going to be an awesome concert. You want to be there. Call 461-6430 or 461-6478 for more information. This year at Youth Alive, the Trilogy.
Say to yourself, today is the day that I'm standing on the shores of a surety.
The church now, however, is supposed to bring the culture of heaven on the earth through the cultural pattern that Jesus established.
In order to experience and appreciate the kingdom perspective, it doesn't happen through autopilot. It happens through faith.
And so if we're serving in ministry and we're serving as leaders, we have to understand the responsibility that comes.
So the real battle of a man is not for his body, it is for his soul. Because his soul is what's influencing his body.
The summit has been amazing.
Wow, it was just such an honor to be here today.
If you don't have substance, it's easy for you to lose perspective.
Get connected. Download the BFMI app, and you too can be a part of the family. Or join us on Facebook and never miss a moment of what's happening here at Bahamas Faith Ministries International. With tons and tons of videos to choose from, you can download now. Download the BFMI app. Watch us on the go, or take us anywhere with the BFMI app.
Welcome back to Empowered Living with our special guest, Darren Brown. Darren, you were talking about, you met your wife on a boat cruise, one of those famous Youth Alive boat cruises.
Yes.
And then she became a part of the ministry, and you got married today. How many children do you have?
2 kids.
You got 2 kids.
Boy and a girl, yes.
And you went into business.
Yes, yes.
Let's talk a little bit about your journey as a leader and venturing into business and where you're headed now.
Yeah, when I first came to BFM, I drove a taxi, tour car, and about because of the leadership, Pastor Miles, and we are leaders, we should be unique, and I fell in love with art, and it came out because of the ministry. I never knew I could draw, and I began to dabble with oil paint and did a few stuff, and I began to do sculptures and sculpting and all that, and I went into stone veneer walls that I had a niche to take a simple wall. And to bring it to, when people walk in the room, it's like, like a wow, that's the wow factor. And I pray to God, I say, God, I want to have the wow factor. And he's basically teach me and train me, because I'm self-taught. Nobody and never went to school. People ask, what school you went to? I said, God taught me, And so my company now is called Concrete Art, and I'm going to America, and that's what I will be doing in America.
So you have some business opportunities.
Yeah, opportunities in America, yes.
Man, that is an amazing story. So you started out on the streets, and then you ended up getting saved, coming to BFM, being introduced to leadership and understanding your purpose and potential, and you took that to help other young people, and then eventually it led you into business. And so now your wife and your family is going along with you. That's wonderful. Any final words that you would say to young people out there reflecting on your journey? What can they learn from your story?
Well, I like to say young persons that it doesn't matter where you're born or the things that you failed at or what persons have said about you. But what really matters is what God has put on the inside of you. And you're destined for greatness, you're destined for something that your name will be renowned. And so no matter the circumstances, you can rise above. And I believe in you, Pastor Dave, definitely believes in you. At Bahamas Faith Ministry, we believe that you are a leader and you can achieve great accomplishment.
Wonderful, wonderful. I am so touched by that story, and I'm thankful to God that as a ministry, we were able to impact Darren's life, and Darren has impacted so many others over the years. So those of you who are watching today, I want to encourage you to continue on the path of righteousness, because it's the message of the kingdom is what change all of our lives, the message about purpose and potential. So we learn that God has a purpose for us. We learn that if we seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, everything else we need will be added unto us. If we need a business, we need a wife, whatever it is, it's added because you're pursuing the kingdom. So that's a great lesson for all of you out there to remember today, that it's all about the kingdom, it's all about serving God, because in serving God you find and you discover your true potential. And Darren is a testimony of all of the things that we spoke about. So once again, we want to thank you for watching Empowered Living today. We want you to know that we need to be in contact with you, so give us a call, drop us an email, come by our services every Sunday at 10 o'clock. If you cannot make the service, watch us online. If you'd like to purchase any of our products, or if you'd like to make a donation, there's information on the screen that'll help you do that. But once again, we want to thank you for watching Empowered Living, and we want you to know that you are born to win. You got to refuse to lose. Your winning streak begins today with your winning choices. Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and everything you need will be added unto you. So thanks once again for watching Empowered Living. We're so glad you joined us today, and we expect to hear from you and see you next time. God bless.
Did you know that most people who get divorced love each other? Did you know that almost every marriage begins as a happy marriage? Then why do so many marriages fail? Because love is not enough. Learn the keys to healthy and long-lasting relationships from Pastor Dave and Angie Burrows as they share valuable insights and keys to successful relationships that last a lifetime. No, it's not easy, but yes, it is possible to have successful relationships and marriages. Find out how today. Get a copy at www.bfmm.com or ebook on amazon.com.
This year's Youth Alive 2019, the Trilogy, all happening at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center from July 3rd to July 5th. It's going to be amazing. Guest artists, Stats, E-Man, Neslin Deslahome, Carrington McKinsey, Chosen Soldiers, Fuel Band, Leonardo Evans, and so much more. We also will have Bertram O'Bubala, and it's going to happen all at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. Friday, the 5th, is going to be an awesome concert. You want to be there. Call 461-6430 or 461-6478 for more information. This year at Youth Alive, the Trilogy.
Say to yourself, today is the day that I'm standing on the shores of a surety.
The church now, however, is supposed to bring the culture of heaven on the earth through the cultural pattern that Jesus established.
In order to experience and appreciate the kingdom perspective, it doesn't happen through autopilot. It happens through faith.
And so if we're serving in ministry and we're serving as leaders, we have to understand the responsibility that comes.
So the real battle of a man is not for his body, it is for his soul. Because his soul is what's influencing his body.
The summit has been amazing.
Wow, it was just such an honor to be here today.
If you don't have substance, it's easy for you to lose perspective.
Thanks for watching Empowered Living, brought to you by Bahamas Faith Ministries, a local church with a global vision. Please contact us for more information at 242-461 888-888-6400. Email us at bfmadmin@bfmmm.com or visit our website and streaming channel at www.bfmmm.com and www.livestream.tv/BFMI TV.